What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 13:36 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia. So the commander of the Russian military's nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare unit, Lieutenant General Igor Kirilov, as well as one of his assistants, were assassinated last night in a bombing outside of an apartment in the Ryazansky district of Moscow. Russian authorities have now confirmed the death. And what's interesting is the Ukrainian Security Service, the SBU, announced the opening of a criminal case against Kirilov just 2 days ago. According to the SBU, he ordered the use of chemical weapons in more than 4.8 thousand cases since the beginning of the war. So it looks like Ukraine assassinated the commander of Russia's nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare unit. Lieutenant General Igor Kirilov and his deputy were eliminated last night. And right now, we have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert for another day. Here we have two B-52 nuclear bombers airborne over Louisiana. We have a nuclear war command and control plane setting up a looping pattern in the Gulf of Mexico, about to communicate with our nuclear-armed submarines. And then we have a nuke sniffer plane that just took off from STRATCOM in Omaha, Nebraska. It's about to head out into Iowa and detect radiation in the atmosphere. So something is brewing, guys. We know that Russia has closed down the airspace over their Kapustin Yar missile test range through the rest of this week, every night from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's very possible that Russia is going to launch some kind of a strategic attack on Ukraine with more ICBMs, potentially nuclear tipped. And that's why we have these nuke sniffers airborne every single day for the last week or so, okay, to make sure that they have some way of checking if these detonations in Ukraine are nuclear or not. All right. Now, in addition to this, we have some concerning news coming from China. Satellite imagery spotted a Chinese submarine with its nuclear ballistic missile hatches open while pierside at a naval base with underground facilities facing the South China Sea. According to the latest satellite image updated by Google Earth Pro on December 7th, a submarine was seen docking at one of the Longpo naval base docks on the island of Hainan in southern China with at least 4 of its missile hatches open. The submarine, as one of 6 Chinese Type 94 nuclear-armed and nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. Each of these submarines is capable of carrying up to 12 ICBMs for nuclear strikes. Okay, so here you can see, if you look very closely here, you can see these 4 hatches that are open while this thing is docked. So that is very, very concerning. Now, right now, we have the Stalingrad clock playing on one of the Russian nuclear war frequencies. It started up again last night. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is EMP Shield. Guys, I'm proud to announce that I'm going to be partnering with EMP Shield. They have just given me a special discount code just for my subscribers. If you go to empshield.com and use the code NYPrepper when you check out, you'll get 15% off your entire order. Good for anything on their website. They're also doing a Cyber Monday sale. Guys, the threat of an EMP has never been higher, and you need to protect your vehicle and critical electronics. The EMP Shield is a device that protects your vehicle's computer or electronics by installing in line with the electrical system. The EMP shield has passed rigorous military testing and is compliant with several military standards. They're also IP66 weatherproof and made in the USA. They can be used to protect your ham radio base stations, your RV, your camper, your solar generator, and various other things in addition to your vehicle. So go to empshield.com, use the discount code NYPrepper to get 15% off, and the link and the discount code are in the description below this video. And over the last few days, really since this threat of a massive Russian Icbm strike on Ukraine started, we've been hearing this Stalingrad clock on one of the Russian nuclear war frequencies. And basically, this is a historic, symbolic thing, okay? Because during the Battle of Stalingrad, the Russians played this clock on a loudspeaker, and it was interrupted periodically with a message that said every couple of seconds a German soldier dies, and then the clock would continue playing. And this was a psychological warfare trick by the Russians. And so are the Russians now trying to do the same thing with Ukraine and the West, and they're playing this clock on their nuclear frequency? I don't know. But just the other day, there was a nuclear attack warning to the United States that was broadcasted on the primary Russian nuclear war frequency, the UVB 76, also known as the Russian buzzer. And it sounded like an emergency broadcast system message saying that there was a nuclear attack imminent and to take shelter for nuclear fallout. And then over the weekend, there were these weird images that were broadcasted, signal to text messages on the primary Russian nuclear war frequency. So I don't know what's going on, guys, but this is definitely a bad sign. Let me play this for you. And if you tune into my 24/7 live stream right now, you can still hear this Stalingrad clock. It started late last night and it's still going strong today. So very creepy stuff. And then there was also techno music playing on the Russian buzzer, the primary Russian nuclear war frequency last night. Listen to this. This is crazy. I've never heard this before. Really weird stuff, guys. I've never heard that song before, but very strange. And late last night, Putin's doomsday plane went to Ankara, Turkey for some reason. This was shortly after the assassination of the nuclear forces commander, the nuclear biological chemical commander. And then it came back earlier this morning, and then also another Russian VIP plane went to Belarus, and then we also had another Russian doomsday plane go east towards the Urals, and it potentially landed near some secret base out here in the Russian countryside. And so here you can see this morning the Putin doomsday plane coming back from Ankara, and then another Russian VIP plane going to Belarus. Okay, so two VIP planes going to Belarus, Putin's doomsday plane going to Ankara last night for just a few hours and then coming back. Very unusual. And then here's this remote area where this Russian doomsday plane may have landed, somewhere near the town of Patrikivo. There's like an old Soviet base over here with missiles, actually, missile bunkers. And the US and Japan recently conducted exercises with B-52s. These are the nuclear bombers. So here you can see Japanese F-15s conducting escort missions with US B-52s. And what's interesting is that F-15s are also nuclear capable themselves in addition to the B-52. Okay, so Japan and the US conducting nuclear strike exercises together. And the Turkish military removed the border fence near the city of Kobani ahead of an expected invasion into northern Syria. Kobani is a Kurdish stronghold, so Turkey is going to invade northern Syria and try to occupy northern Syria so the Kurds don't take control. And apparently mobile internet will be switched off in Crimea. According to the Regional Ministry of Information, temporary restrictions are being introduced starting today to ensure the safety of residents. Okay, so that's also pretty sketchy that Russia would suddenly decide to turn off mobile internet in Crimea. My guess is it has something to do with strikes, potentially Oreshnik strikes. They don't want people in Crimea filming anything and then posting it to social media. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back later with another update. Check out my 24/7 live stream. It's up right now. You can listen to all these nuclear codes and strange nuclear signals. And I do go in and out of that 24/7 stream throughout the day and throughout the night. So until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.